Hello and welcome to my channel. I just want to take a quick moment to do a work in progress. So what I'm working on right now, I'm still finishing up a diamond painting and just share a few things with you. One of the things I wanted to show was this is the pokey tool things that I made a while back. I think I shared a video of that. This is the final finish on them. So I got a few of them done, and those are the little vases that I had painted. And forgive the little lady, she's laying down. One of the flowers fell off, so it's being glued, and I've got it pressed down so it'll dry. But yeah, those are the things I've been working on. And the other thing is this diamond art project that I'm currently working on. That's what I'll be working on during this work in progress. And just give me one moment. Okay, let me go ahead and get started. First thing I need to figure out what time it is. Okay, I'm going to try to make sure to keep this under 15 minutes if possible. I am currently working on this section right now. So these are my purple little flowers, or drills for this flower. And I just want to take a quick moment to kind of do a whip and chat or work in progress and see how we do here. Just give me a moment. Trying to see. I didn't want my whole like blocking the view. So not much is going on right now. It is summertime, so it's been very hot here. I live in Oklahoma, and we've been under a heat advisory for the last couple of days, with temperatures exceeding 100 degrees on some days. And so we tend to, when it gets like that during the summer, is we do most of our activity stuff like going to the grocery store, those kind of things, appointments, try to do those in the morning, and then that way by afternoon we're at home and we're not out and about, you know, because you just have to take it easy and not overdo. And if we can't get out in the morning, then we wait till later in the day when it's a little bit cooler, not much cooler, but it's like dropped down at least 10 to 15 degrees, so we can go. We're fortunate enough to have one grocery store, a Winco here, that is open all night. So if we need to wait till after sunset to go somewhere, we still have that option to go pick up our stuff there. But yeah, so it's just summertime. It's always hot here in Oklahoma. We had a few thunderstorms the last few weeks, but that has kind of settled down right now because it's just been really dry. Normally our summers are very hot and humid, but it's been very dry the last few days. So we do have to be careful with that, especially if the wind starts picking up. Then it starts drying out everything pretty much, because then we run into the possibility of fires during the summer. So right now I haven't noticed if there's any flag advisories for the fire, but I do know we have heat advisories because of the current heat and the high temperatures. So we just try to stay inside, make sure we have everything we need. And for me, it's just trying to stay busy. So I'm working on this. As you can see, I've kind of got my canvas kind of elevated. I'm trying to keep it kind of eye level when I'm working on these, because I do have a problem with my neck. I do have some herniated discs, so sitting down and constantly having my head bent down, it gets bothersome after a while, and sometimes I get a headache from it. So I try to keep it as eye level as possible. So I kind of came up with this. It said one of the box easels for your desktop, and I propped up my canvas on top of another small canvas that I had, and it seems to be working well. I haven't had any problems with it. My only issue is trying not to push too hard, because I don't want to shift anything and knock anything down. But I am making more progress. Hopefully, if I continue working on this today, I will have this completely done by this evening, and then I can start my next project. But once I get this done, I will post it as well, make a video and post it. I try to make sure to do that after every project I complete, so you can see what it looks like when it was done. This is a canvas from Hobby Lobby. It's one of their, I think it was from a spring, might have been spring, maybe in summer, I'm not really certain. I normally wait until everything goes on sale before I purchase them, because to me I'd rather spend more on my actual art, like supplies like markers and paints and stuff, than this kind of art craft projects, because these are all inclusive. But if I like allocate so much money, then I can buy several different designs to work on. And I started doing a wheel spin project after my first year of doing diamond painting. That way, because it was always hard to decide what project I wanted to work on next, because there's so many options, and I try not to work on too many of these at a time, just because I don't have the space for it. I have space, but I don't want it all be taken up just by one particular craft. So I try to I've limited it to like 3, starting 3 at a time, or working at 3 at a time. So I decided to start doing a wheel spin. I started that back in probably like March or April, and on my first channel, and then I just went ahead and carried it over to this channel when I started this new one. That way it gives me, just let the universe decide what will be the next project. And so far I've been pretty happy with the picks so far. The one I am kind of dreading is if it ever gets to, I have this one up there, it's like the Grand Canyon. It's a desert one. I'm pretty sure it is a Grand Canyon because it's a lot of browns and oranges, and I'm like not really looking forward to that one. I really liked it when I bought it. But then as I go along, especially with my first square ones and my first, confetti ones, I started realizing that's a lot of brown, a lot of brown and orange. So every time the wheel spin picks a large canvas and I go to spin find out which large canvas it is, I get a little nervous because I'm like, oh, I'm not ready for that Grand Canyon one. That is a lot of brown, a lot of orange. But if it does pick it, I'll gladly go through, finish it, and do it. And it is one of my larger canvases. I haven't done too many large. This is a size, I think it's a 11. I'll have to go back and look at it, but I'll put it in the description. But this is what I don't consider a large canvas. I consider it's kind of like a medium size. Anything 14 by 16 or anything higher than that, or 16 by 20, I have some of those. Those are what I consider my larger canvases. And then I have, a lot of small canvases. I really started out with just a small canvas. It's just something quick and easy to do and work on. And so I started those first, and then I started buying bigger ones because I like the design, I like the colors, those kind of things. And so yeah, I've found quite a few that I've liked. But then once I started gaining like a stash of them, or a little inventory of them, I realized I needed to slow down a little bit on buying too many. Buy them only on clearance, so I'm not spending that much money on them. And since I have a rewards account from Michael's, I use my rewards on that, so I apply that too, so it doesn't cost me as much. And so I wait for those clearance sales and the clearance canvases to come up. I've only bought a few that were actually brand new, and I look forward to doing those as well. But I've added everything into my wheel spin, so we'll let the universe decide which one I'm going to do next. But this was one of my wheel spin picks, and I really enjoyed the look of this. It kind of reminds me of the one I did previously. It's a bird canvas with all the different blocks of color. I've enjoyed doing these kind of canvases. I've only done a few of the flat ones, but those were like squares and then a lot of confetti. So those are the ones I did before. But as far as this kind of artwork, it's a really good way for me to do something as I'm doing something else. So I tend to watch videos on YouTube of other YouTubers I follow that do other types of art. They're either watercolor or gel printing, or just general arts and crafts. So I follow a lot of them, and then I follow a few diamond painters myself, and I watch them do their whips and chats while I'm doing my work as well. It's a good way to pass the time. If I'm not doing that, then I'm usually watching a television series. I try to, when I decide on a television series, I tend to watch all of it. So that will be my main focus. Then I'll switch out to like maybe a movie, just a regular movie, and then switch out to podcasts or even audiobooks while I'm working on my crafts. So this, for diamond painting, I tend to watch some of the television series, and I've gone back to television series I never actually watched the first time they came through. So right now I'm in the middle of watching all the Walking Dead, the original series. I watched the very first episode. I remember when it first came out, and I just thought it was too gruesome. It was too kind of gory, and so I'm like, I was not interested, and I just went on past it, and I never watched it. And then I watched a movie last summer, and it was or it was a series. It was, they only had 2 seasons, I believe, and I think it was called Black Summer, and it was about zombies. And then also, of course, I watched the movie World War Z with was it Brad Pitt in it, and I enjoyed that movie. So I kind of like, okay, I kind of like these zombie movies. They were interesting. Let me think about this series again. So I started watching it again a few weeks ago. I'm already up to season 6, so I'm about halfway through this series, and then I'm debating if I want to continue on with all the spin-offs. I do like some of the characters. My son kind of makes fun of me when he hears me getting all worked up. I'm like, yelling at my computer like, no, don't go that way, that kind of thing. And I tend to get like all, caring about certain characters and stuff, and it's all been up and down, and some of them like, oh my god, did they die, did they not die? And I'm like so excited because they're alive. It's just like all kinds of emotions going on for me. But I get that way with movies. I get that way with television series. I get that way with books sometimes. I started going back to reading books, like physical books, not necessarily listening to audiobooks, because I kind of miss that. I used to be a voracious reader. I would buy my go-to author is Stephen King. I've been reading Stephen King books since I was like 12. Growing up in a not a very good environment as a kid, Stephen King books helped me make it through a lot of difficult moments. It kept me focused on other things. It took me into the characters and storylines that helped me just get through things. And so I've always been a big Stephen King fan. I've read most of his books, and then for a while I kind of moved away from it. I didn't read as much books anymore as my kids were getting older, because they were getting busier. I was getting busier, and so I kind of put away the reading. I would read every once in a while, but I wasn't reading as much as I did when I first got married. I was previously married for 17 years. We did get divorced, and then unfortunately he did pass away a year after our divorce. So for the last 10 years it's been just me and my kids doing our own thing. They've gone off, left the nest, gone off to work, school, and just living their lives, and me doing the same thing, working and eventually retiring. So it wasn't because I wanted to retire, it's because I had to retire. I lost full use of my arm, and I couldn't do the work I was doing before, and so I unfortunately had to completely retire from work. I was already retired from the military. I did serve 20 years in the Air Force, and so I was already looking forward to actually retiring when I turned 60. So that was kind of the plan, just keep working, keep adding to my retirement fund, and then actually fully retire at 60. But the universe had some different plans for me, so I actually got retired like 5 years ago, right around after I turned 50. And so I've been dealing with all that, but I went back to rediscovering art, which I used to do a long time ago, and I kind of gave it up. When you are busy working on goals and raising a family and focusing on their needs, you tend to forget yourself sometimes, and I did that for a very long time. And every once in a while I would find something to keep me busy, and some of those things I will post here. One was cake decorating. I was a cake decorating instructor for Wilton, and I worked for both Hobby Lobby and Michael's at one point. At one point I was the only Hobby Lobby instructor they had here in the Tulsa area. So I did a lot of traveling all over to all the different stores, teaching classes. I was working part-time basically, and at the same time I was finishing up my military career. So I've done a lot of different things, worked a lot of different places, but one of the things I was always interested in is artwork. I started out, doing drawings and paintings and those kind of things. I learned how to do beadwork from my grandfather, and I'll be sharing some of those as I go along too. And then I just kind of, did what I needed to do to make sure stuff was taken care of my house, my kids, and whatever their needs were, and just be that busy mom doing things. And that was my main focus for a very long time, and I kind of forgot about the artwork. And so since I've been retired, I've been focusing on that, relearning, drawing and coloring, adding more skills, learning about acrylic paint and watercolor. Watercolor is the one I'm really interested in right now, and so I've been watching a lot of different YouTube channels about watercolor, and hopefully as I go along I'll start doing more of that, finding the best way to do things. Then I discovered this actual form of art, this craft last year. I had seen a kit in, I think it was Michael's. It was around Christmas time. They had a bunch of stuff on clearance. I found a kit and I thought it was really cute. It was butterflies. I like butterflies. I thought, okay, that would be a really good kit to start with, to see if I like it, because I was always really unsure about this craft. Because I was one of those people like, well, who would want to sit here and put all these little dots down? And here I am. I'm like, I don't know how many projects in so far in the last year, over a year now. But I got the kit just to give it a try, and I ended up enjoying it very much. I actually didn't start it until after I had an emergency surgery last year. So I was down for a few months and I needed something to do. And I was actually down for about 6 to 8 weeks before I could actually get back to my bedroom, because I couldn't go up the stairs. So I was sleeping on the couch, had all my art stuff with me or surrounding me, and I got these kits and I went ahead and started working on them. And I enjoyed it very, very much. I enjoyed this whole process. It was very tedious and time consuming, and I kind of like doing tedious, tiny work, and that's what this was for me. So I started doing this, enjoyed it very much, and just continue on. Finding more kits, finding more things to do, learning more about it. And so yeah, this is the one thing that keeps me busy. Just focused on things. And let me see real quick. I'm trying to see if I need more of that number. I think that was all the number I had, if I remember correctly. And I don't see any more. Okay, so we're gonna have to switch this out here in a moment, but let's see. All right, we're about time. I've gone over my 15 minutes that I wanted to, but this is what I'm working on right now. This is currently where I'm at. Like I was saying earlier, I was talking about reading. I started going back to reading. I want to continue on with more of the Stephen King books, the ones I've missed throughout the years. I used to be one of those kind of people that would get a book and read it all in the same day. My ex-husband, he was not a big reader, and that used to drive him crazy, because he's like, you're still on this book, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm almost done. And I'm like, because I was reading really fast, and I've gotten out of that habit, so I'd like to go back to that habit. So that's probably the next thing I'm going to try to work on, is going back to the reading. I think it is important for people to read. It keeps your mind fresh. It keeps ideas there. It keeps, when you're talking about vocabulary and learning and applying that to every day, I think reading is very important. I don't think as adults we tend to read enough. We should keep that habit going. Hopefully I instill that in my children, because they do a lot of reading themselves. Most of the time it's reading towards their whatever job they're working at, whatever they're working with. That's what they do, the reading, but sometimes they do other reading too. So me, it's always been like Stephen King, John Grisham, those kind of books. That's what I read. And then I do read like more self-help, like I talk about leadership and development and those kind of things, things that were part of my job when I was working. So yeah, I just want to take that moment to share that with you. If you like what you see, give me a like, subscribe, and share, and leave comments if you want to. I would appreciate those. And thank you for stopping by. You have a great week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.